We just got to see that Inverse is now out in early access yesterday at the Upload VR showcase. This game is really impressive for early access. Imagine a Dead by Daylight type game where it feels like you're trapped in a Stranger Things laboratory. This asymmetric horror game puts you and up to 4 of your friends together in 4v1 matches. You can play co-op as the agents working together. You're trying to restore power to the control terminals, which feels really familiar if you've ever played a game like Dead by Daylight, where you're trying to bring back power to the generators. You can play solo as the monster, going around corrupting and incapacitating people as you find them. The environment is dark and creepy, and although this has barely been out, it's got 10 perfect 5-star ratings. People saying for early access it's amazing. If you like Dead by Daylight, you're gonna love this. Awesome, so good. So far, nothing but praise. On top of that, the graphics in this look really good. There's movement options to personalize it the way you want to play. Of all the games on this list, this one I would say is definitely a must try, at least while it's free and in early access. If you're into auto battlers, turn-based strategy games, Keystone Titans might be something to check out. Although it feels like it's very early in development, it's an interesting game because it has a lot of different stats that you're trying to build on your team as you buy monsters, level them up, and then let the battle play out in front of you. There's a countdown clock that counts down the amount of time you have to prep, and then a battle clock that's running the clock while the battle's happening. If you're familiar with these type of games, this is probably going to feel really familiar to you. For me, I felt a little lost in what was happening. There was multiple tables and I was moving between them, managing the monsters at all of them at the same time. But it was cool to see building up a team and fighting against the other teams. It did seem like I was winning a little too well for someone who had no idea what they were doing. It's only got 1 rating, 5 stars. This thing hasn't even been out for a week yet, but if you're into these type of games, I'd love to know if you try it in the comments down below. Tell me, is this a good one? Is this something that you think has a future in it? I really have no idea. I'm not used to these games at all, but it was interesting to try it. Draconite looks a lot like a simple wave shooter when you open it up. But something that's unique about this is if you have a play space that's 10 by 10, which is pretty big, you can actually set this to room scale mode where you don't use any locomotion theme and you move all around the play space yourself. In Draconite, you are fighting off waves of enemies with different weapons that you actually customize and build yourself piece by piece to change how these are used. Some unique mechanics: when your weapon runs out of ammo, you can throw it as a grenade and it explodes then, and then it takes its time to reload in front of you. Between each wave, you get to choose different power-ups that might make that reload time faster, might save you from more damage, and it's definitely a pretty polished game for what it is, although I wish there were more options to change about the locomotion and the vignettes. With only 6 ratings so far, it's been out barely less than a month, but it's at about a 4.3 rating. 83% of those are 5 stars and 17% of those are 1 stars. Very divisive opinions here, but all the written reviews are 5 stars. Amazing, nice game, great game. It's definitely one that I think would be good to have in your library for when you're showing people that are new to VR something simple, something that doesn't require a lot of movement around, or if you're someone who really likes upgrading weapons, taking on waves of enemies. It actually isn't bad at all for a wave shooter. Thanks to Sepnetic for suggesting Soccer World, which I had not heard of before. Soccer games have been very popular on these lists so far, and Soccer World is a different one. Is definitely very early in development. Early enough that I'm a little surprised there is paid options for each of the soccer mini games inside of it you are playing. The first one, you can at least play through level 10 of goal attack. The balls are getting kicked at you, but you can't see a kicker. The ball just launches off the soccer field and you are trying to block it as a goalie. It's cool that your meta avatar is actually in this for immersion, but I found that the gameplay was a bit tough. It shows in the trailer them very clearly catching the ball when it's kicked at them, but every time I tried to grab or grip the ball, it would bounce off my hand and possibly roll past me into the goal still, and you get booed every time the ball makes it into the goal. That's a very stressful element to this. Several other mini games you can check out in there: Foosball, Memory. They each have at least a free version, and then you can pay for it after that if you want. 2 ratings so far, both are 5 stars, one of which says great app, great games, and they love playing attack, defense. There is some leaderboards you can look at too. For the soccer fans out there, if you get in, I've got to know what you think about this, because it says here, with stunning graphics and immersive gameplay. I definitely say the gameplay does get immersive when you're trying to block those balls, but I would not say the graphics are stunning. Now, Siberian was a game I was actually pretty surprised by. Between the 6 ratings, giving it about a 2.3 star rating, which is one of the lowest I've ever seen, and the fact that not a single person had written a review about it, I walked into this with extremely low expectations. It's a multiplayer action-adventure game with co-op with 1 to 4 players. It advertises that it's got an in-depth story with 20+ missions and 50+ hours of gameplay, but when you walk into it, there's all these unique characters you can pick from. Although it feels a lot like a Rec Room minigame that someone has built, the environments look nice for the art style they've done. You step into the level, collect the crystal, and then enemies spawn and start attacking you. There's different weapons you can use to fight back, and it is very simple and very new. It only came out on April 10th. I would was surprised at the amount of fun I was having just checking this out. I think if you got a crew up to 4 friends, just like in Rec Room doing the quests in there, this would be something you could actually have a lot of fun doing together. It's a very simple environment, very simple AI, but it shocked me for what I expected versus what I found when I actually got into this. Star Raver advertises itself as a multiversal club. Now this is more of a social experience type game, and it only came out on May 12th, so it's only been out for about a month so far. In this game, you're hanging out with your friends in a sci-fi music clubs, different mini games you can try, from tic-tac-toe, beer pong style games, this weird one where you pit little stars fighting each other, and different things like that. I do appreciate how in the trailer it definitely seems like maybe the person who developed this did the voiceover for the trailer as well. 1 rating so far, probably can guess who it might be from. It's 5 stars, no written reviews about it. If you like sci-fi, if you like social apps, this might be one to go check out and leave a review for them. Let them know what you think so that there's more than one for people to check out. But they say they're gonna throw a fun rave with or without you. Octonic was just shown off during the Upload VR Summer Showcase, and although this is more of a fitness app, it's looking to gamify your treadmill workouts by putting you in virtual worlds that you then get to run through. Now, although you can try it for free if you do want to try the multiplayer, or if you do end up liking it and want to keep it, you'll end up paying for a subscription for this. You can stick with the free version or just purchase worlds if you want to avoid that subscription though. With 41 ratings so far, this is at about a 3.8 rating. 49% of that 5 stars, people saying it's got potential, people saying it's a very excellent start, but lower reviews saying glitches, connection issues, and some people being really unhappy after they paid for the more premium features and then are finding more of these glitches and problems. What do you think about running with a VR headset on? I've tried a lot of VR fitness apps, and some of them are really great. They really help you get in, not realize you're getting a workout. I would definitely recommend talking to your doctor first about the potential of having that weight hanging off the front of your face and something like jogging. And even here at the bottom, Octonic recommends using a non-fabric head strap like Kiwi for jogging or running. Cosmic Flow describes it as a relaxing VR experience, and it is a truly unique experience. When you go into Cosmic Flow, it's just a quick menu in front of you, and then you drop into this environment with all these psychedelic colors, movement around you. Not only that, it gives you all these different options to change how it's working. You can change the speed of how it's coming at you, the width of the object, you can reverse it. It's definitely an immersive experience and something you're not really going to be able to understand what it's like on a 2D screen, but I would say it's worth checking out if you're into anything psychedelic, relaxing meditation style experiences. And a lot of people agree, with 84 ratings, giving this about a 4.7 rating. 81% of those are 5-star with 0% 1-star ratings, with the only low ratings saying pretty but dull, but a lot of people saying really cool, great potential, bit limited, relaxed. The developer is definitely trying to make something artistic here, and if you're into that, I would say it's worth taking a little time to check it out since it's free. If you want to fall even further down the rabbit hole of psychedelic visual art styled experiences, Psyche 60's demo will definitely take you there. More of a guided tour experience. This advertises it's taking you back to the 60s or the psychedelics era, or the first time psychedelics were ever consumed in mass. A very odd experience that just came out a few weeks ago, and due to that, 0 ratings, 0 reviews so far. If you're into art or you want to see what San Francisco was like in the 60s or any of this time, might be interesting for some history buffs, but if you take the time to check it out, tell me in the comments what you thought on a scale of 1 to 10 of how trippy and weird it was. Now, I really hesitated to put Horse Rider on the list at all, but VR Lover suggested it, so I had to go try it out. In Horse Rider, you are just riding a horse. Through realistic hand motions, you're controlling the horse, whether you're pulling back on the reins or slapping with the reins. I could not figure out how to freaking get the horse to jump. The hand controls are very tricky to learn, but once you get them down, you do kind of get a bit of a thrill from riding the horse faster, although I had to break the map a couple times because I couldn't jump over the obstacles just to continue going through the course. To the one person who sees this here and thinks, I've got to go try that, if you figure out how to actually jump, let me know in the comments. There you got it. 10 more mostly games. Couple of weird ones in there, but I appreciate all of you suggesting more fun ones for me to try out. I've really been enjoying testing these out and finding some good gems for all of you. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see. Thank you for coming out, and I will see you in another reality.